Good morning. This is Holly with Holly's Joys, and I am working on this giant turtle that is going to be a patio pet. He's in process, and he was a stuffed animal. So remember that the stuffed animal remains on the inside. So what I'm doing now is designing how I'm going to paint him. First off, I have already done most of the painting, and I've done all the painting underneath. So his bottom side is already covered, and I did that in this green, let's see, what's the actual name of it? Classic green. And every time I sit down to work on one of these, I just glance over and make sure I got all my little spots covered, because sometimes the concrete is a little bumpy and you'll have little places that got missed, and I see a couple little places, and I'm just gonna, or I will accidentally daub over with a different color into an area that I did not want to daub over into. So I make sure that all my little dimples are covered. Okay, then I decided on a design, and what I'm going to do with this guy is kind of an homage a bit to the yin and yang, however you say it. But it's not going to be exactly that. So, and I'm going to use purples and orange. And I just used a mechanical pencil and I sketched on a little bit of what I was thinking. And also on this one, I where is it? You know, I have too much stuff here in my face. I can't even see my stuff. You ever do that? Anyway, I sprinkled some glitter on there. I hope I see it. I had gotten this at a thrift store, so I do like to recycle. And I've been using this for several years. There was a lot of glitter left in there, and I just sprinkled it on him because I think he looks really pretty with a little bit of a sparkle. And so that's where we're at. So here we go. We're doing and I don't know if you can see it, but I did this kind of hoopty, what do you call that? Kind of a paisley symbol. And then I did circles and little paisley kind of. So he's not exactly going to be yin and yang, but that general idea. And I have these paints that I'm going to be using, and these are it's outdoor living. And this one is just, let's see if it gives a name. It's orange. I guess it doesn't actually have a name on it because they think that maybe you can see. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use some of this orange. And I'm just going to get in there and start. And I like to use a smaller brush when I'm doing the up against the line. It just gives me a bit more control not to blob over. But if you do blob over, it's not that big of a deal. You just take your background paint and touch it up. So let's see, what was the color on the background? I used this one on the background. It says Durable Outdoor Paint, Yard and Garden, and it's called Sandbox. So that's this tan, and there we go. And of course you can choose whatever colors you like when you do your own patio pets, or I have a couple of orders that I'm working towards. It's a little less free for all when you've got an order, because people want to do it their colors. So I'm going to work on those, and I'm getting ready to do a gigantic alligator. Well, to me he's gigantic compared to the ones I normally do. He's a big one though. And I have done a couple of videos on dipping him. So if you want to look at those videos on how to actually dip, I used the alligator a couple of times because I dipped them 3 or 4 times. It just depends on the piece, because a lot of times that fur makes a big difference in how that concrete sticks and how much concrete you actually need to use. So that's why it's either 3 or 4. So if you're really interested on how the dipping part goes, from from actually prepping the stuffed animal. And they don't have to be in great shape. They can have missing eyeballs or marker marks on them. They don't have to be in great shape because this is a recycle, repurposing them into a completely different thing. So, yeah, you got a lot of leeway with what they actually look like originally. Now, I am going to spend probably quite a bit of time on this portion of it, and then I will outline it, and I like to outline in black. I just like the way that looks. And I will most likely use some white accents as well. I may even outline in white beyond the black or before the black, so it's just a matter of kind of listening to myself as I go, what I think will look good next. And so far I think he looks cute. So he will be my project for today. So that's it for today. I would like you to please go to Patio Pet on Facebook, and I will post his finished paint job. Once I'm all finished, he'll be pictures and painted, and he'll be all posted. And then you'll see what I think his cost will be, his price. So please like and follow and share and do all the things when you go over to Facebook on Patio Pet. And then on YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel at Holly's Joys. And I do several different types of videos over there. I do a lot of arts and craftsy type stuff. And I am working on a painting right now as well. So it's just a variety of things. And I do sketchercising, which is what I do to keep my creative juices flowing. And you can do those along with me or save it and do it in your own private time. But they're just really good to kickstart your creative juices for the day. And I think that has a great deal of value in how your day is going to go. I also have videos about my childhood and my upbringing. I have a lot of childhood trauma and those sorts of things, and I'm working on a few different ones right now. And how that has affected me as an adult and how I am finding joy and happiness no matter the circumstance. And at least that's my goal. And also that somebody that I love has addiction as their life struggle. And so I have books that I've written about how to have a happy and joyous existence when someone you know and love has their life struggle being addiction. And that's on Amazon under the next 12 steps and using my way to peace. So, and I do talk about those books in videos as well. So that's all there is to it today, and I do some spiritual videos, just a little bit of everything, just what's happening, what I feel is relevant in my own life. So go, have a great day, subscribe, follow, share, comment, do all the things, push all the buttons. And you know what? I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.